How do you know that you're attractive? Old people will say it out loud. And little kids will let you know if the opposite is true. Honestly, the best compliment I have ever been given was when a woman with her kids got on a train I was on. She told them to get the seats next to the pretty lady. They looked around for a minute, then made a beeline for me. That was about 10 years ago, and to be honest, I've never got over it. My grandmama says I'm the handsomest boy ever, so I believe her. I got some bad news for you. My grandma said the same thing about me, and my grandma's no liar. People will tell you, all the time, a friend of mine is model-level attractive, and people have zero problems being direct with compliments. Like cashiers, strangers. One time we were chatting and someone crossed the street to compliment her. It's like a different existence. I have a very pretty friend, white key to story. We were sitting outside a cafe in Seoul, very not white, and a group of tourists started taking pictures of us. Also white, so kinda special but not crazy so. After a minute they asked the rest of us to get out of the frame so they could get solo shots of her outside a cafe. It was wild to watch happen in person. As someone who used to be young and attractive, you get hit on. I realized it when I got older and was no longer getting hit on. It's not necessarily that you got older and less attractive. It could also be the environment you're hanging out in. I don't go to clubs or bars or music festivals anymore. Most of my activities are either with close friends or other, married, parents, not exactly the right environment to hit on people. You catch them looking. Nah, it's also, is he really that ugly? I'm sure people would tell you. I've told others if I think they're attractive. I also have a mirror that tells me exactly why people don't tell me I'm attractive. Wherever you go, you meet nice people. Everyone is kind and forgiving towards you at first. Then your mouth opens? You wouldn't have to wonder. People will remind you every day one way or another, like doing you favors, more patience. People look at you, ask for your number, compliment you. I know 'cause I'm friends with someone very beautiful, and the way people treat him is like night and day. Like we go on clubs and he wouldn't need to ask for anyone's number. He just looks at them for a quarter of a second and they give them theirs. Sometimes I wonder why I even bother taking care of myself if people like that exist. I have a very attractive friend and I've tried to explain this to her because she just kind of thinks everyone is like that to everyone. It just doesn't translate to her. She also talks to me about how she just can't trust other people's intentions. I'm like, girl, I have that too, but I don't get the benefits you do. We don't talk about it anymore because it's like alien to both of us. Thankfully, she didn't lean in hard and give up developing herself as a person. I grew up with two sisters, one a literal runway model and the other probably a bit below average. The difference in their lives was tangible. Attractive sister could literally get away with anything. Not doing homework, showing up late to class, having an attitude, not being a kind person later in life, skipping work days with no penalties, would almost always get offered every single job she interviewed for. Ended up marrying a Frenchman worth in the ballpark of 50 million. Before him dated a well-known celebrity. Dated a billionaire. Dated many millionaires and one out-of-work, broke-ass struggling artist. She was flown all over the world by suitors. She was given promotions 30 days after starting her job. Over and over in life, people looked past her indiscretions, her weaknesses, and every door she went near was opened. She didn't just get second chances, she got third and fourth and fifth chances. She has a shit work ethic but considers herself a hard worker because that's what her little effort was met with her entire life. She doesn't know what hard work is. Everything has been handed to her. She's in her late 40s now and has come a long way. Almost had to though, as her looks diminished with age. And she was in her late 20s. I remember having a discussion with her. I had just got a speeding ticket. She said she had been pulled over 12 or 13 times in her life and never got a ticket. She thought cops only gave warnings. The other one struggled in life, works a bad part-time blue-collar job that she physically can barely do anymore, lives in poverty. In her 50s, never married, not in a long-term relationship, hesitated maybe 2 guys in the last 15 years. Was in constant trouble growing up for actions less severe than the other sister. Lived life with a very short leash. She'd get one screw up and was cut. Very few second chances. To my knowledge, very few opportunities in life or career. I've never seen a door, literally or figuratively, open for her. I remember when she was about 19, she got pulled over and was given a ticket for changing lanes without using her blinker. It's the craziest dichotomy I've ever seen, and I talk about it often with friends who don't know either of them. There is that episode of Seinfeld where Jerry dates this gorgeous woman, and she can basically get away with everything. It's meant to be exaggerated and hyperbolic, but it's crazy how accurate it is. The same may be true for attractive men, but I can tell all of you with 100% certainty and confidence that very attractive women live life on cheat mode and exist in the world nobody else gets to be in. You wait until you are old and unattractive and look back on your younger pictures and say, "Oh, I was pretty." Youth really is wasted on the young. My wife has pointed out numerous times that girls hit on me while my oblivious ass just thinks they're being nice. I had a woman hit on me while I was making a selection on a jukebox one time. My wife told me to let her buy me a drink so we could save on the tab, lol. Businesswomen I see. I've been told that I am by a variety of unrelated people. I'm not super attractive, but enough for the occasional compliment. I got called the pretty one once. That will do me. Strangers remind you with favors and invitations. They make the effort to spend time with you, not the other way around. If a random kid calls you ugly pensive face. People, particularly strangers, are nice to you, do things for you, and you never have to initiate conversations. And not necessarily true, you can be very attractive but look too fierce standoffish for that. Attractiveness can be intimidating too. If you say you're ugly and people give you strange looks or tell you to stop fishing for compliments, then you're actually attractive. If they say, "No you're not," and start giving you compliments trying to hype you up, then you're probably mid. If they agree with you that you're ugly or don't say anything, then you're ugly. There's an older black lady that comes into my store and chats sometimes. When she leaves, she always says, "Alright, bye-bye handsome," with a really charming smile. Don't know if it's true, but honestly that's all I need. Makes my day every time. If you're in a group, you will get spoken to notice first. People smile at you more and are quick to reply to your salutation. You get hit on a lot. At one time, I was extremely overweight. The disparity in how people treat you is ridiculous. Even in the workplace, I was favored when not overweight. It's just how we're wired. No women try anything with me, so obviously I must be out of their league. Never had trouble receiving compliments. I think it's somewhat coincidental though, that it only happens when I'm demanding it while brandishing. I keep getting emails from hot singles in my area, so I'll take their word for it. Had a college roommate who was attractive as fuck. I went grocery shopping with him once and realized him and I live in completely different realities. Every girl we came across, I fucked the shit out of him and tried so hard to catch his attention with the biggest smiles. To him, the world was just a big happy place full of friends he hadn't met yet at every corner. To me, the world was full of people who avoided eye contact with me like I was a crazy homeless person. Attractive people truly live different lives from the rest of us, and not enough people talk about the effects of pretty privilege on mental health, growth and development, and self-esteem. It's literally reality shaping. Constantly getting approached in public by random people. If you're accustomed to people offering to do things for you, or if you think that the average person is kind and complimentary, then you're attractive. That's not the baseline human experience, but attractive people think it is. Personally, you know you're attractive when you feel confident and comfortable in your own skin. It's less about external validation and more about how you carry yourself, especially when you start attracting positivity and genuine connections. That's a true sign in my opinion. You can feel it. I've always been a good-looking guy, but when I got into my late 20s I started gaining weight, and I was overweight from then until a few months ago, in my mid-30s. The difference in how people treat me since losing the weight is unbelievable. I'm constantly getting hit on by random women, men talk to me more, everyone is generally friendlier. I forgot what this was like. I wasn't even huge before, so it's not like I was repelling people because I was so big or anything, but my attractiveness was definitely much lower. The effect has also been multiplied by the fact that I have a baby. I lost my weight after he was born. When I was walking around with him as a fat dude, I did get occasional attention. But now that I'm thin again, you would simply not believe the kind of sexual energy that I receive as a dad walking around with a baby. I feel like I need to start wearing protection just to go to the grocery store. And it comes from everyone too, ranging from the teenage cashiers to the soccer moms to the old ladies. How do you know that you're attractive? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.